Alright guys, it's Wade with 365 Thermal, and today we are going to be talking about me. That's right, we're talking about 365 Thermal. Who am I? We're going to get all into it. I'll do a little bit of background, who I've partnered with, what my business is, and much more, so check it out. So who is 365 Thermal? Well, that's me. My name is Wade Bryan. I am from Illinois. My business is 365 Thermal, and I am an authorized thermal dealer. Of course, I also sell other things. I have tripods, hunting lights, calls, several other options available, guys. It's all on my website, 365thermal.shop. But today, I wanted to let you guys know more of who I am and what I represent. So again, my name is Wade Bryan. I am from Illinois. I am 35 years old. I am a Marine Corps veteran and prior law enforcement. I've worked pretty much had a job since I was 8 years old. Okay, so much like a lot of other people, I started off mowing yards and, shoveling snow and stuff, raking leaves in the fall. And I've just progressed since then. But I've had a job pretty much consistently since then. So kind of crazy to look back and think about, but I mean, I went from there and I had a paper route and I would work for farmers and stuff in the fall and the summertime. Went and worked, even a restaurant and doing dishes and stuff like that. I worked telecommunications before I went active duty in the Marine Corps. Lots of different things, but unless you have me on social media or know me in real life, you probably don't know who I am or anything about me. So I just would like to get to know you guys a little better, and I would like to let you know who I am. I've been hunting pretty much my whole life. A little bit of background there. So I want to say it was when I was 5 years old. I think I was like maybe 5 years old the very first time that I ever shot a real gun. I had a BB gun and stuff before that, but my dad, I remember we had a little single shot 410, and I still have it, of course. And as a youth model, and my dad took me out to go squirrel hunting, and I still remember it to this day. My very first true hunting memory. He took me out. And we were hunting in this big open block of solid oaks, right? But there's nothing in the forest canopy, right? Just nothing but a bunch of dead leaves. And we're going along, it's late fall, we're squirrel hunting. And we're sitting on this dead log, and we can see a couple of them messing around. He goes, "Hey, sneak over there, because I'm much smaller." So he told me to go by myself. He's like, "Sneak over there and go ahead and shoot one of those squirrels." Well, I get over there, and I'm only maybe 50 yards away from him. And he goes, "Shoot him. Shoot him." And I was very frustrated, and I literally told him, I was like, "Dude, they won't sit still." And he just started busting up laughing, because little did I know that majority of the time when you're that close to these squirrels and I'm with a shotgun, the idea is not for them necessarily to sit still. And you can get them as they're moving around on the trees and stuff like that. But at that age, I didn't have a clue. That is my earliest hunting memory. Of course, I had, shot the gun several times before that and stuff, but it was always at a still target. So in a real life hunting world, I didn't have a clue, as to what I was doing. So that was pretty entertaining, and I've had a lot of other, bloopers along my hunting life as well. So I'm no different than any of the rest of you, but I thought I'd share that. It's pretty interesting to me. But going on from there, guys, I mean, it's the very end of September right now, September 24th, and I cannot wait till October 1st. I love deer hunting. It's the very next thing that I like, just under coyote hunting. So coyote hunting is probably my number one. Obviously, I really, really enjoy it, to say the least. I made a business out of this thing, right? But deer hunting is a very, very close second, and it's what I've done for a very long time. I shot my first deer whenever I was 8 years old. With a 12 gauge shotgun. It was a smooth bore with a single bead on the tip of it. You know what I mean? So nothing fancy, nothing crazy. It was a doe. My dad was actually sick. He walked to the end of the thing, and he's like, I can't stop coughing. I'm going to go down here. Don't shoot any cows. Don't shoot anybody, And I was sitting over a ravine bottom that we had expected the deer to go through. And about, I don't know, man, maybe 20 minutes afterwards, he's back at the truck, and here comes this single doe just moseying on down through there, and I had it rested on my knee, and right through it, man. I watched the blood right on the weeds behind her, And bless her heart, she ran all the way up to the top of the ravine, right by this big old cottonwood, and rolled right back down. So I went and got Dad and told him, and sure enough, Dad being sick, little 8-year-old me tries dragging this doe up the hill the whole time, and it was a not very fun experience for my first deer, and I'd never gutted a deer before either. So then I'm doing that, and I gut this deer, and he's laughing at first because I'm just kind of like grossed out by it. I wasn't like gagging or puking, nothing like that, but I just kind of grossed out by it. I'm a young kid and I'd never done it before. Well, then it gets to the part where he's being a dad, and I had the doe facing with her belly towards me as I'm field dressing her, and I did not even think about it or realize that all that blood was running downhill all over the knees of both, all over both of my knees on my coveralls. And so I may have got a little bit of a chewing on that one. He was not happy, to say the least, and that was a learning experience because, yet again, I retained that knowledge till today. So the little things stick with you sometimes, guys. And moving on from that, and something I wanted to share with you guys, my dad actually passed away whenever I was 16 years old. So those are wonderful, wonderful memories for me, and something you can hold on to for a very long time. But again, to that point, I have lived on my own since I was 16. Always wanted to do my own business and stuff. Like I said, worked majority of my life. And, I found something that I really, really liked. Several years back, one of my buddies, one of my very close friends, was talking about another friend of ours, or somebody that I guess they're acquaintances. I would consider this guy to be my friend, but he was doing outfitting things, and he's like, I'm surprised you don't do something like that. And I said, well, why is that? He said, because I always thought that you'd be doing something in the outdoor industry, And I was like, well, you're not wrong. I said, that's not necessarily my cup of tea, per se, for what it was. But I thought about it the same, and I was just like, he's not wrong. So that was just one of those light bulb moments, and that stuck with me as well. I've always wanted to do my own business. I've ventured in other things here and there. Nothing ever took off. There's one that was very, very profitable, but I hated it, so that didn't last long. I was like, I'm not going to do this. I don't care about the money. I want to do something that I actually enjoy. You know what I mean? So I don't want to be going to work where I hate my work every day, and I definitely don't want to make a business out of that because that's just a disaster, So here I am, and I find myself getting more and more into night hunting. And like many guys, I did not do the, quote, buy once, cry once method, and I had to buy what was affordable at the time as I pieced together my gear, right? So started off with lights, then I go to night vision, then I get a thermal monocular for my night vision scope that was only a 256, by the way. And then from there, I got a better monocular because the night vision scope was still working, but the monocular, it was only to pick up heat. Like I couldn't identify anything. It was one of the older 256s, so it was not good quality at all. And from there, I got a 384 monocular upgraded and everything. And then I finally got my first thermal scope. And through this whole venture, I find myself looking more and more at thermals and what's good, what's affordable, what all the different specs are on this stuff and everything. And I found that I really had an interest in this, just from the pure standpoint of the optics themselves. I found a big interest in it. So much that once I got more and more into it, people started asking me locally, friends of mine, they'd be like, hey, dude, kind of want to get into night hunting, what would you recommend and everything, And this isn't like one or two people. This is a significant amount of people locally and everything, or, buddies of mine that are asking me this stuff. And I'm just like, that's interesting. And so it came to a point where it got so much that I was just like, well, what would I have to do to turn this into a business? Did all the legwork, went all through that. I can tell you guys, it is kind of a pain. It still is to some extent. Operating your own business is not for the weak. I will say that. Every day is some new pain of some sort. I do love it, though. I wouldn't change it, that's for sure. That's all I'm going to say about that, but I wanted to just get that out of the way, let you guys know kind of where I'm at and everything. Moving forward, though, more about me in the business, I wanted to say that with every bit of my being, I strive to be the best in customer service. And I 100% across the board mean that. I don't think that I'm going to be the most knowledgeable necessarily compared to guys that have been doing this for, 20 years. I'm not claiming that. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm saying that I am going to be the best person to do what's best for you. And that is my goal. I mean that wholeheartedly, 100% true. I want to do what's best for the customer. If that means that I lose a sale, that means that I lose a sale. But I would much rather have it be that way than somebody buy something from me because I blow smoke up their butt about how good an optic is, or, something like this, just to make some money. I'm not going to do it. I won't. I promise you that. I already have lost sales because of that, because people want to buy, like these budget thermals and stuff like that, and they want something that's going to do, things that you would buy, like a $5,000 optic would do these things, but they're expecting it out of something that you're going to be getting, for like $1,000 or sub $1,000, and it's just not realistic. So I do tell them, if that's really what you want and need, and it sounds like it probably is, save up a little bit more money and go this route instead. I'm telling you guys, it'll save you a lot of pain and heartache, because there's nothing worse than purchasing something, not even an optic, just in life in general. There's nothing worse than buying something, getting it, and being like, oh, well, this is it, you know what I mean? And then you're bummed out, especially when it's expensive, you know what I mean? You buy something for $1,000 or a couple $1,000 and have these high expectations, and you get it and it's shit. That sucks, okay? And I don't want that for anybody. I want you to be happy about what you get. I want you to be stoked, in fact, about what you get. And so moving forward, that's just where I'm at. If you want to buy anything from me, 365thermal.shop. If you want to call, talk to me, or text me, 309-333-2044. I would be happy to help you. But that's the business side and everything. I did want to take time and thank the guys that I am currently partnered with. Great group of guys. I promise you that. They're in this industry as well. They all do different things. If you're looking for different content, whether it be, YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, TikTok, podcasts, whatever, they've got it. So I'm just going to kind of go down the list here of my partners and let you guys know where you can find their information and their content, because they put out a lot of great stuff. They put out stuff daily. Yeah. So if you're wanting somebody to follow along with that puts out content daily, like you're one of those guys that just constantly consumes it because you love it, check these guys out. So first I got Colt Morris with Coyote Academy. Great guy out of Ohio. Check out Coyote Academy at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Next, I want to say thank you to Kyle Pfeiffer. He does CNP-Outdoors. You can check out all of his stuff on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube as well. And then last but not least, Jason Bird. He is out of Iowa. He does Midwest Coyote Pursuit and Talking Yotes podcast. Now, Midwest Coyote Pursuit, you can check that out on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And the Talkin' Yotes podcast is going to be on Spotify and Apple Podcast. He's got a lot of big names coming on, guys. I encourage you very, very much to follow along with that. Check it out. Follow all these guys, all the different Facebook, YouTubes, Instagram, all that stuff. Tons of content coming out for you guys every single day. They're all great guys. They're hard workers. They're blue collar, just like everybody else, then this majority, I will say, in this industry, you know what I mean? Like, they're good dudes. So go check them out. And of course, I will do my own shameless plug on this, right? Who is 365 Thermal? You want to find out more about me? You can follow Wade Bryan on Facebook. You could do Wade Bryan 365, all one word, on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Snapchat. Of course, 365 Thermal. You could do Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Of course, where you're watching this. And again, guys, I'm not going to be the guy that's going to go around and try to shove something down your throat, trying to get you to buy something that you shouldn't buy. Okay, I'm not going to do it. If you're in the market for any of this stuff, you want help figuring out what you need, I would love to help you. Okay. Again, my website, www.365thermal.shop, and my phone number is 309-333-2044. If you guys would like to support the channel, I would love that. Please feel free to subscribe. It helps me out, and you guys could get a lot more episodes. On my YouTube here, I do coyote hunting tips, tricks, strategies, setups. I do different gear reviews, not just optics. I do night vision and thermal optics, as well as, hunting lights, calls, tripods, all the accessories, all that stuff, guys. All right. So I give you real world information just to help you. Again, I appreciate all your support, everybody that supported me up to this point. I really, really, truthfully and honestly appreciate it. And as you can see, I mess up talking a lot. I'm not good at talking to myself here. I don't even edit that out of my YouTube videos. I'm sure if you've watched it, you've seen it, you'd be like, this dude just can't talk. And I apparently cannot, because I do it in almost every single video. And I just leave it because I want you to understand that I'm no different than you. You know what I mean? So this is just what I want to do. This is my business, and I'm here to help you guys. So that being said, thank you again. I appreciate you watching, and have a good day.